The Little Fox's Conductor's Baton. Early in the morning, the little fox was busy rummaging through the house, leaving it in complete disarray. The members of the forest orchestra had gathered at the doorstep. Some with trumpets, others with violins, eagerly awaiting the little fox to rehearse their performance. But the little fox couldn't find his conductor's baton. As the conductor of the forest orchestra, he couldn't do without it. A squirrel hopped onto the windowsill and asked, "Little fox, what are you searching for?" The little fox, too preoccupied to pay much attention to the squirrel, impatiently replied, "I'm looking for my conductor's baton." The squirrel had seen this scenario unfold more than once and offered some advice. "Little fox, can you please try to put things in their designated places in the future? Being disorganized and losing things when you need them can be quite frustrating." The little fox, nonchalant, responded, "I understand what you're saying, but I'm just not used to it." Seeing the little fox sweating in distress, the squirrel decided to help him search. Ultimately, it was under a tree outside that the squirrel found the conductor's baton for the little fox. The little fox was overjoyed when he held the baton and, suddenly struck with an idea, said, "Squirrel, can you do me a favor? I know I tend to misplace things, and you're so organized. Can you keep my conductor's baton for me?" The squirrel was initially reluctant, but after some thought, he reluctantly agreed to keep the conductor's baton for the little fox. From then on, the little fox never had to worry about losing his conductor's baton. Each time he needed it during a rehearsal, he would simply wave his hand and say, "Squirrel, pass me my conductor's baton." The squirrel was always prompt in handing it to him. The forest concert was finally underway. The forest was brightly lit, and the audience eagerly anticipated the raising of the curtain. The little fox adjusted his body, automatically waving his hand to signal for the baton. However, the squirrel raised his palms and said, "I can't find the baton." The little fox's eyes widened in shock, and he pointed at the squirrel. You. He was too furious to say anything more. The squirrel took over, saying, "You, my friend, have become dependent. If you continue relying on others like this, your habit of being disorganized and losing things will never change. Consider this a lesson." The little fox learned a valuable lesson that day about the importance of taking responsibility for his things and not relying too heavily on others. The delivery has arrived. Here in a quaint seaside town, the delivery driver is busy loading packages into the van. La la la, the delivery van sets off. It travels along the road through the canola flower fields, heading towards the mountains. We've finished delivering to this area. Today, we're going to cross over the mountain. The delivery driver follows the mountain road. Just as the vehicle emerges from a tunnel, the driver sees a small mountain village still covered in thick snow. All right, this village needs a round of deliveries. In the mountain village, a girl named Cory gazes out the window and sighs, "Ah, why isn't spring here yet? I really want to go to the meadows with Sakura and Shigeru to catch bugs and go fishing by the river." The delivery is here, your package. The delivery driver brings light green boxes to the children in the village. Cherry blossom, your delivery. Lush greenery, your package. The delivery driver's voice reaches Cory's ears. Ding dong, Cory Hanano, your delivery. Cory grabs the package and rushes out the door. The delivery driver has brought a light green box that floats like a balloon. "I wonder what's inside." Cory excitedly opens the box. Suddenly, the surrounding snow melts away, little green sprouts emerge, and flowers bloom. The box is filled with spring. "Wow, spring has arrived!" Cory exclaims loudly. The delivery driver, carrying spring, gets back into the delivery van and heads towards even colder regions. Next time, maybe he'll bring you a light green box too. Once upon a time, in a land where time itself was still a mystery, there stood a towering mountain of dreams. On this magnificent mountain lived the gliders. The gliders spent their entire lives ascending the mountain of dreams, their eyes set on reaching the summit. Among the gliders, some were swift climbers, while others took their time, savoring the journey. But there was one glider who stood out as a notably slow climber, setting him apart from the rest. Whenever he embarked on his climb, the other gliders would swiftly overtake him. It was hard for him to watch them soar ahead, and he often felt like the least accomplished climber in the world. Some gliders couldn't resist making fun of him as they passed, while others simply continued on their way. A few well-meaning gliders extended their helping hands, eager to assist him in his ascent, but he declined their offers. Climbing was challenging for him, especially on rainy days when the path became slippery. Sometimes it seemed like the rain was singling him out. Yet, the truth was quite different. There were moments when he felt like he wasn't making any progress at all. But he was. Then, one fateful day, he crossed paths with a glider who climbed even more leisurely than he did. He decided to offer his help to the slower glider. "Thank you," the slower glider said. "You're welcome," the slow glider responded. "I can't be of much help to anyone else, considering my leisurely pace." "Leisurely?" inquired the slower glider. "Well, yes, I always watch other gliders pass me," replied the slow glider. "I do not know if you are slow or fast," the slower glider mused, "but I do know that you helped me, and you are still climbing." With a warm farewell, the slow glider continued his ascent. Still climbing, he thought to himself. That's true, and he smiled. So, the glider persisted in his climb. He soared on sunny days, maneuvered through rain, and even braved the snowy slopes. With each passing day, he honed his skills and became a better climber. Sometimes he overtook fellow gliders, and at other times, they passed him. But he no longer paid much attention. He also observed that some gliders had ceased climbing. When a glider stopped ascending, they remained at their current position. Some gliders stopped because they were content with how far they had come. Others stopped because they no longer wished to continue the climb. The gliders who had halted their ascent didn't appreciate being overtaken, often making it challenging for others to pass. However, the persevering glider continued to ascend, soaring right above them. There were still instances when he felt as though he was tackling an insurmountable peak, but he pressed on. Always climbing. Do you think he reached the summit?
Once upon a time, there was a little shrimp who used to swim in the water, just like the fish. But he had a bad habit. He liked to bend his back. Whenever the little fish saw this bad habit, they would often say, "Why do you always bend your back? That's not a good habit, and if you keep doing it, you might end up with a hunchback." But the little shrimp didn't pay much attention and said, "No way, my body can't bend like that." One day, the river clam warned the little shrimp, "You should really change this bad habit." But the little shrimp ignored the advice and continued to do things the way he always did. Then the lady snail told the little shrimp, "Take a good look at yourself. Your back is already starting to curve. Lift your chest up quickly. Otherwise, you'll become even less attractive." It was only then that the little shrimp took a closer look at himself and realized, "You're right, my back is starting to curve. I need to correct this bad habit." He tried hard to straighten his back, but it was tiring, and he couldn't keep it up for long. As soon as he relaxed, he found it more comfortable to bend his back. Changing a bad habit takes determination and patience. You need to stick with it for a long time. Unfortunately, the little shrimp couldn't maintain his determination. And so, over time, his back became more and more bent. Remember, kids, if you want to change a bad habit, don't be afraid of the difficulties, and be patient. It's important to keep trying, even when it's tough, so you don't end up like the little shrimp with a hunched back.
The Runaway Bunny. Once upon a time, there was a little rabbit who desperately wanted to run away from home. One day, the little rabbit turned to his mother and declared, "I'm going to run away." "No matter where you run to, I will always follow you," his mother replied. After all, you are my little bunny. If you follow me, the little rabbit challenged, I'll become a little fish in the brook and swim far, far away. If you become a little fish in the brook, his mother assured, I'll become a fisherman and catch you. If you become a fisherman, the little rabbit countered, I'll turn into a rock on a high mountain, and you won't be able to catch me. If you become a rock on a high mountain, his mother responded, I'll become a mountain climber and find you. If you become a mountain climber, the little rabbit continued, I'll become a tiny flower hiding in the garden. If you become a tiny flower, his mother said, I'll become the gardener, and I'll still find you. If you find me as a gardener, the little rabbit said, I'll become a little bird and fly far, far away. If you become a little bird and fly away, his mother smiled, I'll become the wind and blow you to wherever I want you to go. If you blow me away, the little rabbit exclaimed, I'll become an acrobat in the circus and perform high in the sky. If you become an acrobat in the circus, his mother calmly replied, I'll be the tightrope walker and meet you halfway in the sky. If you become a tightrope walker, the little rabbit realized, I'll just become a little boy and run back home to hide. His mother hugged him and said, well, then, my little bunny, you might as well stay right here as my little one. And so it was. Let's have a carrot, his mother suggested. The little rabbit smiled, knowing that there was nowhere else he'd rather be. Toy Soldier's Quest for Friends. The toy soldier, dressed in a fantastic camouflage outfit and carrying a splendid wooden rifle at his side, used to be the best friend of a little boy. However, one day, the boy got new toys and no longer wanted to play with him. The toy soldier was hurt and angry. Now, he had no choice but to venture outside to find new friends. He walked for a long, long time, but there were no new friends in sight. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind blew him into a large river. The river was wonderful, far better than the little boy's home. As the toy soldier swam in the water, he saw a variety of fascinating fish. Excited, he called out, Hey, fishies, will you be my friends? But all the fish looked terrified and swam away. All of a sudden, a sharp, long beak scooped up the toy soldier and lifted him high into the air. It was a hungry heron who had mistaken him for a tasty fish. Let me go! Let me go! The toy soldier screamed and struggled, but the heron paid no attention and flew higher into the sky. Terrified and desperate, the toy soldier finally drew his wooden rifle and pointed it at the heron's head. Let me go, or I'll shoot! The heron looked in fear at the toy soldier. But this threatened to make the toy soldier fall. He clung to the heron's neck, and after a moment of hesitation, the heron put him back down on a tree branch. It turned out the heron was looking for a meal, not a friend. The toy soldier, now on the branch, observed the world from up high and realized how vast it was, even more than the boy's house. The heron grumbled, You're not a fish. My babies will go hungry now. What a disappointment. Your babies? You have babies? The toy soldier inquired. I'd be happy to play with them. I'm a toy soldier. The heron replied, That sounds good, but, do you think it's a good idea to play with my babies while you're carrying a rifle? To make new friends, the toy soldier had no choice but to toss away his beloved wooden rifle. In no time, the toy soldier arrived at the heron's treetop home, where 3 little heron babies excitedly greeted him with loud chirps. The toy soldier hadn't expected to find 3 new friends all at once, and he was thrilled. He was no longer angry or sad. Planting rabbits. One day, a big wolf and a fox went for a walk in the wilderness. Suddenly, the big wolf tugged at the fox and said, Look, there's a rabbit over there. The fox looked and indeed saw a rabbit playing by the pond. The big wolf sneaked over, getting closer and closer. He suddenly pounced and grabbed the rabbit by its big ears. He turned to the fox and said, Ha ha, what a fat rabbit! Let's take it home and make some delicious stew. Wait, big brother, don't be in a hurry to eat, the fox hurriedly said. The big wolf widened his eyes and asked, "Why not?" "Big brother, you know the saying, as you sow, so shall you reap, don't you?" The fox replied with a cunning smile. "Oh, I see," the big wolf said. "You mean we should plant the rabbit, right?" "Exactly," the fox said. "If we plant this fat rabbit in the ground, it will produce even fatter rabbits." The big wolf asked the rabbit, "How many rabbits can you produce if we plant you?" The rabbit replied, "If you plant me, I can produce thousands of rabbits." The big wolf tied the rabbit to a tree and started calculating. Plant one rabbit, get thousands of rabbits. If we have too many rabbits, what will we do with them? The fox chuckled and said, "No problem. We can open a chain restaurant and specialize in braised rabbit." "Little brother, you have a brilliant mind," the big wolf said. The rabbit said, "But if you feed me well, I can produce even more rabbits." Good point, the big wolf said. "Little brother, go and fetch a basket of fresh vegetables." In no time, the fox brought a basket full of carrots. The big wolf untied the rabbit and said, "Go ahead, eat. The more, the merrier." The rabbit sat in the shade of the tree, eating and saying, "Now, let's dig a hole." The fox picked up a big shovel and started digging. The big wolf peered into the hole but was surprised to find that it was only as big as his thumb. "You're useless. Watch me." The big wolf picked up the shovel and dug deeper into the ground. But he still only managed to create a hole the size of his palm. The rabbit said, "Work hard, don't give up. The deeper you dig, the stronger the roots will grow. The bigger the hole, the thicker the tree trunk will be, and that's when it will produce more, fatter rabbits." Good point. We can't stop now, let's keep going, the big wolf said. The fox added, "Excellent." After a while, the big wolf and the fox finally dug a large and deep hole. The big wolf sighed, "I'm exhausted." The fox also lay down. It was at this moment that the rabbit yelled from the hole, "Foolish wolf, cunning fox, I'm gone." The big wolf and the fox tried to chase after the rabbit, but the hole was too deep, and they couldn't climb out. They could only say in regret, "We've been fooled." The Hippo Doctor's Story 1. Today, Dr. Hippo opened the doors to his animal clinic bright and early. He wondered which little animal would be his first patient of the day. Dr. Hippo, please hurry, my head hurts so much. Who could it be complaining of a headache so early in the morning? Oh, it was a little fox. What happened to you? How did you get such a big bump on your head? Dr. Hippo asked while examining the fox's head with concern. Dr. Hippo, I just saw that the apples on the tree had turned all red, and I wanted to climb up and pick a few. But in a careless moment, I fell from the tree, and an apple hit me on the head. And that's how I ended up like this, the little fox explained, somewhat embarrassed. I see, I just checked, and it's nothing serious. I'll apply some ointment, and you'll be fine. Remember, you need to be careful no matter what you're doing. You can't be reckless. Do you understand? Next time, think about using a long pole to knock the apples down. You could also ask other little animals for help so that everyone can enjoy the apples, and you won't get hurt. Right? Dr. Hippo's words made the little fox a little shy because he had only thought about himself and forgotten about the other little animals. It wasn't a good way to act. I understand, Dr. Hippo. Thank you. I'll be on my way. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Take care on your way. Dr. Hippo saw the little fox off, believing that the fox would seek out the other little animals. They'd all go together to pick apples. That's a better idea, isn't it? All right, the story is over. I hope you can learn to think smart and find solutions, just like the little fox. Good night. The Hippo Doctor's Story 2. Today, Dr. Hippo once again opened his clinic early, wondering who would be the first to arrive. Oh, it's the kangaroo mother and her child. What could they need? Dr. Hippo, can you give mesamediodimticin make mesmeler? The little kangaroosk Hippo earnestly. Oh, you want to becomel? Why's that? You need telemedicine fair, doctor, Hippo replied. I want to stay in mism, velit lekin gerdishweswerfo. I see, but, Meteor, Yarmi and Tagra be wanwawam. You can't stay come. I funever grother well, the my matluk denadi. Pio plemetlafali. You walden twantha, will you? Besides, when you graup, you can protect immune. Isn't that a gooding? Dr. Hippo's words mankman date. Velitelican godials, you're right, doctor. Hippo, I want to protect mommy and ye don twantha disha too. I want to grow up, mom. I'm sorry I was realisly, it promisa takami. I liat more eat fruits and macam sulfur quick. I don't jet back in aquami. Yuri wonderful, Meteor. Mom believes you pelikri. Thank you, Dr. Hippo. We're going himino. Thank you, Dr. Hippo. Goodbye. Goodbye, Bakid Wikepshirdi. The kangaroo mother kidayan. That's the dendafesti. Io pure litless buntles. Good night. The Hippo Doctor's Story Part 3. Today, the Hippo Doctor once again opened the doors of his clinic bright and early, wondering who the first visitor of the day would be. Hippo Doctor, please hurry. My voice is so hoarse that I can't speak. The words were quite challenging to understand. But the Hippo Doctor soon realized it was the handsome Rooster. What seems to be the matter, mister? Rooster, why is your voice so terribly hoarse? Let me take a look, the Hippo Doctor replied and began a careful examination of the rooster's throat. Have you been drinking very little water lately and eating hardly any fruits? Yes, I've been busy playing games with the little animals and completely forgot about staying hydrated, the hoarse rooster admitted. You see, you have a naturally loud voice and love to sing. Now, with the lack of water and fruits, your throat has suffered. You've developed heatiness and severe dehydration. I'll prescribe some medicine for you to take, and when you go home, make sure to drink plenty of water and eat lots of fruits. In just 3 days, your voice will be back to its clear and cheerful self. Thank you, Hippo Doctor. I understand now. I promise to take better care of myself. I'll drink more water and eat more fruits every day from now on. Thanks again, and I'll be on my way, the rooster said, accepting the prescribed medicine and heading home. There you go, my dear, the story is all finished. Mommy hopes that you'll remember to drink plenty of water and eat lots of fruits every day, just like the rooster learned to do. You don't want to end up with a hoarse voice like him. Good night, Mommy loves you. Translation of the story for children, suitable for reading. Title, The Hippo Doctor's Story Part 3. One day, the Hippo Doctor opened his clinic early, wondering who would be the first visitor. Hippo Doctor, please help me. I can't talk properly. The words were hard to understand, but the Hippo Doctor realized it was a handsome rooster. What's wrong, Mr. Rooster? Why is your voice so hoarse? Let me see, the Hippo Doctor said, examining the rooster's throat. Have you been drinking water and eating fruits? No, I've been playing with little animals and forgot about staying hydrated, the rooster replied. You have a loud voice, and now, without water and fruits, your throat is sore. You're dehydrated and have too much heat. I'll give you medicine, and when you go home, drink water and eat fruits. In 3 days, your voice will be clear. Thank you, Hippo Doctor. I'll drink water and eat fruits every day. Goodbye, the rooster said, taking the medicine and leaving. There, sweetie, the story is over. Mommy hopes you'll remember to drink water and eat fruits every day, just like the rooster. You don't want a hoarse voice. Good night, Mommy loves you. The Hippo Doctor's Story Part 4. Today, the Hippo Doctor once again opened his clinic's doors bright and early, wondering who the next visitor would be. Hippo Doctor, please take a look at my child. He can't see things clearly. It was Mama Monkey, looking quite concerned. Oh, please let me have a look. The Hippo Doctor carefully examined the young monkey's eyes and performed a vision test. It turned out that the little monkey was nearsighted, and the prescription was quite strong. Little monkey, have you been watching TV, using the computer, or your parents' phones at home? The hippo doctor gently inquired. Yes, I love watching cartoons and playing games, the little monkey admitted honestly. Because of that, your eyes have developed a severe nearsightedness. Unfortunately, we have to provide you with glasses now. It's a pity for your beautiful eyes, the hippo doctor expressed some regret. Is there no other way? Will I have to wear glasses from now on? It's all my fault for not making him take breaks from screen time. Thank you, hippo doctor. Mama monkey felt really sad. It's okay, however, you must make sure he doesn't spend too much time watching screens in the future, or the prescription may get even stronger. The hippo doctor offered some guidance, and Mama monkey and her child left the clinic. There you go, my dear, the story is all done, but mommy hopes you'll also reduce your screen time. If you wear big glasses, they might hide your beautiful eyes, and glasses can be a bit inconvenient. So, we should take breaks from screens after watching for a while, okay? Good night. The Hippo Doctor's Story Part 5. Today, the Hippo Doctor once again opened his clinic's doors early, wondering who would be the first to arrive. Daddy, I'm so sorry. Wait, it's the Hippo Doctor's own son. Why is he apologizing so early in the morning? Son, what's wrong? Why are you saying sorry? The Hippo Doctor asked, puzzled. Sorry, Dad. After you left just now, I accidentally broke a bottle of your medicine at home, young Hippo said with his head down. Oh, I see. Did your mom scold you for it? Mom wasn't at home. I was playing a game, and it happened while I was playing. I understand now. If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known it was you. You're a great kid for admitting your mistake voluntarily. The Hippo Doctor didn't scold his son. Dad, good kids should be willing to admit their mistakes. You taught me that. Besides, it was truly an accident, not on purpose. I'll be more careful next time, and I promise, Dad. Well, Dad believes in you, and Dad is very proud of you. A child who admits mistakes and makes amends is a great one. Dad believes you'll keep your promise. Yes, Dad, I'll keep my promise. Now, you should go to work. Goodbye. And off went young Hippo, bouncing away. There you go, my dear. The story is all done. Mommy hopes that our little one will also be brave enough to admit mistakes and, most importantly, learn from them, okay? Good night. The Hippo Doctor's Story Part 6. Today, the Hippo Doctor once again opened the doors of his clinic early, wondering who would be the first to arrive. Hippo Doctor, please help me. I've lost a part of my tail. It was none other than the little gecko, and he was in tears over his missing tail. Oh, let me take a look, little gecko. Don't worry, geckos have a special ability that sets them apart from other animals. They can regrow their tails when they're lost. The Hippo Doctor examined the wound and found it wasn't a major concern. Really? My tail can grow back? That's amazing! The little gecko's tears turned into tears of joy. He had been feeling quite ugly without his tail. Yes, believe me, in no time, your tail will grow back. Thank you, Hippo Doctor. If it doesn't grow back, I'll come to see you another day, the little gecko said, still a bit unsure. Don't worry, little gecko. Take it easy on the way home. With a heart full of happiness, the little gecko left the animal clinic. There you go, my dear. The story is all done. Now you know something important. Geckos can regrow their tails if they lose them. Remember that, okay? Good night.